Hey everybody, Coach Kelly. I am sorry I couldn't be here this morning, but I did want to make sure that you guys had an opportunity to have a question that was asked on the last Jamboard answered for you guys about time to teach. And the question went back to what happens when a student starts to enjoy the refocus or want to go to the refocus, and that's actually the option that they pick, and you recognize that it's starting to become an issue. So I'm leaving this book here for you guys. It's going to be on the table right over here, and I have sticky noted the chapter that goes into all the strategies I'm going to talk about, but this is just kind of a brief overview of what you could do. Okay, so two things to think about before you implement an entirely new strategy. One, do you think that the behavior that the student is exhibiting needs to be retaught, or has it ever been taught? So we know that we jumped straight into things this summer, and we had to because that's what we have to do. But did we maybe forget to teach how to line up at the door? And that's the behavior that's constantly coming up. And so one strategy might be, do we need to reteach this or teach this behavior explicitly to the child so that they recognize how to do it in the first place? If you feel like, yes, the student absolutely knows how to do it, they do it most of the time, but every once in a while it's when they're throwing them off, or it's multiple behaviors, and so teaching just one isn't going to support the child. Another thing to ask yourself is, going back to those three questions, when the student is exhibiting a behavior, can you keep teaching? Can that student learn, and can other students learn? And if the answer to that question is yes, even if it's like, well, I think so, try ignoring it. Okay, and this is a way that if we believe that the student is seeking out attention, you have now let them know they cannot seek out that attention from you, that it will be ignored. That behavior will just be ignored in the classroom, and soon enough, hopefully, they will learn to stop. Okay, if those things do not work, it's what they call in the book early intervention. So before you would try and refocus them or even do your startup request, you might want to try some early intervention strategies with them. These could be hand signals, like sit down, okay, sit down, right, be quiet. Trying to do some of those signals to see if you can stop the behavior before you even have to do a startup request, so that it's not just, oh, I heard her say stop, I know the next thing's coming, and I'm ready to refocus. Proximity effect. Moving closer to a student sometimes stops the behavior from happening, or sometimes having a student come and sit closer to you during time might help. Humor. That is actually a strategy that is used in the book. So whip out some of your jokes. Think about how you get that kid roped in with you. Kind of put some humor into it to see if you can diffuse the situation. Remove the distraction, whether it be another student, a material in their hands, simply going up, removing the thing that is distracting the student or stopping them from being able to work might help. And the last one in here, actually there's two more, physical touch, which I know with COVID is maybe a little bit on the risky side still, but even going up and touching a student on their shoulder, giving them a pat on the back, are you okay? How can I help you? Could diffuse the situation and stop there from needing to be refocused. And the last one, you've heard me say it a few times, is some common diffusers. In the book, they talk about as students start to get riled up and they start to almost talk back with you, using simple diffusers instead of engaging with them so that it doesn't get to the point of a refocus, such as maybe so, however. And there's a few different sentence stems in there that you use when they're trying to push back on you, and you know that at that moment you need them to do something. Okay, so for an example might be, this lesson is boring, miss, and you say, maybe so, nonetheless, we're going to try to finish it right now. Then we will move to something a bit more engaging. So like I said, the book is on here. I hope you guys have had a great week, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.